Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aldina, and I am the creator of Divinely Healing. As humans, we have this ability to feel so deeply, especially for those that are overly sensitive, like myself, and can pick up on all the energies around. And we are so inclined to punish ourselves for the feelings that come up, for the pain that we feel. There is polarity everywhere around us. And for that reason, we all have a shadow side to us. This shadow side is not bad. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is not something to beat yourself up over. It is not something to feel guilty for. It is the part of us that has been formed throughout our entire lives through our interactions with other people, through our traumas and pain. I have always struggled with pain and allowing myself to feel the pain. I have always felt the pain immensely, but I put on this facade like I was heartless, like I didn't have these feelings, like these things didn't affect me. And I was really good at masking and pretending to be somebody different because everyone around me just didn't understand me, and they didn't try to. And so I started closing myself off to everything around me. I'd go through the day and I'd pretend to be somebody completely different that didn't care if people left and didn't care if people were rude or made me feel a certain way. And then I would come home and I'd get in my room and I'd close the door and I'd cry and I'd beat myself up over it. And I thought always that there was something wrong with me, but there is nothing wrong with me. And there never was anything wrong with me. I was just someone that felt so misunderstood and felt like I had to be someone completely different in order to be accepted for who I was. And instead of telling everyone to F off and and wearing my heart on my sleeve and showing people every part of me without apologizing for it, I was scared. I was so used to being called crazy and even overly emotional and dramatic and stupid and a crybaby and whatever you can think of. I was so used to being called these things anytime that I would open up. And so I stopped because, right, I listened to these people so much. I took in all of their words and I started believing them. I started thinking, well, I must be crazy. I must be dramatic. I must be stupid. There must be something that is off inside of me because other people seem to have it all together. They seem to have the right amount of emotional versus this mental energy. They seem to not have people leave so much, and they don't seem to be so up and down. They seem to be so balanced, so level headed all the time. And I just felt like I was up and down and here and there and just never felt like I was grounded in in my body. I always felt like I was out of my body, like things were just happening to me and I had absolutely no say in it, and nothing that I can do would change any aspect of my life. And so I shoved it all down. I shoved it down so deep that I didn't even know what was true and what wasn't anymore. I was like a ticking time bomb. At any moment, anything would make me explode. I was the angriest person on this planet. I had so much anger built up, so much resentment towards everyone and everything around me because they just didn't care to see me. They didn't care to know me. And I just felt like this little child that was never heard, was never taken seriously by anyone, was always just discarded by so many people. And now my shadow side is full of rage. She is angry and she wants to run free and wild and have her own pack, just like a wolf, and not follow a single rule in this world. She wants to overthrow everything. Everything that we know, she wants to get rid of it. And so I felt so much pain and I struggled with the pain. It didn't make sense to me because, as I said, it felt like everyone around me just had it figured out, just knew what they were doing. And I felt like the odd one out all the time until I let myself feel the pain, until the words of other people didn't matter anymore. I stopped hiding and I started feeling every ounce of the person that I was. The problem here is the way that society has been constructed. It's this idea that you can't be an individual. It's this idea that you can't be different than anybody else, that we have to be the same and like the same things and have the same struggles and live the same life. And so they teach you to be ashamed of who you are, of all aspects of you. They teach you to hide the shadow side that they've literally formed throughout your entire life. They tell you to shove down your feelings and your emotions, to play the games and pretend to be somebody that you're not. And they tell you to feel guilty for your past so that you are stuck in this mindset and think that you are not deserving of living a better life, that you are not deserving of learning from your mistakes and having the chance to evolve and grow. And I've struggled with negative thoughts for my whole life, and putting myself down and hating myself. I've listened to so many people for my whole life. I've let people tell me what to do. I've let them infiltrate my thoughts and tell me how to feel about myself. I've let them do absolutely anything that they wanted to do to me, and I accepted it and thought that I deserved it. But the second that I chose myself, the second that I walked away from the things that were hurting me the most, my life changed. The way I felt about myself changed. I went from literally hating myself and wanting to end it all to being here right now, to a person that is firm in who they are and stands their ground and feels more in their body and loves themselves. It's because I stopped running from the pain. I took all those thoughts about myself and I looked at every single one and I studied my past and I wrote it all down, all the things that I can remember. And I found where those thoughts were coming from, where and when they formed. And they were never mine. They were never my thoughts. They were always the thoughts from the things around me, from the people around me that were put on me by them because of their own pain, their own issues, their own trauma. And they forced these things down my throat, and I accepted them as the truth. And I took their thoughts and I took their feelings and I made them my own. And it's not about fixing yourself. That's not what this is. It's about feeling every ounce of your being, every ounce of who you are, and accepting it. You're going to have bad habits and vices and maybe addictions to things that are not beneficial for you. And the point is working through those things instead of finding comfort in things outside of yourself. It's about finding comfort within yourself. It's about looking at every side of who you are and loving it, regardless of what anyone else in the world has told you. What are you running from? What are you trying to avoid? What feelings are you trying to avoid? What is going to happen if you feel that pain that you have within you? What is going to happen if you see the shadow side of yourself? Who do you have the potential to be if you feel all of your pain and you show it the love that it's always needed? What can your life look like? What can your relationships look like if you stop running from who you are and you start welcoming every side of you, every aspect of you? And I always say this, and I will keep saying it until I take my last breath. You are deserving of living the life of your dreams. You are deserving of being loved and being happy and being healthy and enjoying your life fully. The things that happened to you, the people that came into your life, and the things that they said to you, those things do not define who you are as a person. I want you to be able to recognize your feelings and your thoughts for what they are. And I want you to see the similarities in the things that happen in your life today that have happened before, right? Similar kinds of people, similar patterns, similar energies, similar feelings and emotions that are coming up that may have been prevalent in your life before. And I want you to write all these things down. I want you to write them down so that you can understand them. And then I want you to feel them. I want you to feel all the pain that comes up. And if that means that you have to cry for 3 months straight, then you're crying for 3 months straight. And I felt all the pain and I let my shadow side come through. I stopped suppressing those sides of me that I thought I should be ashamed of, that I thought I should feel guilty for. And when I did that, my thoughts about myself and about other people started changing. Okay, instead of judging other people, instead of reacting to every single situation, I started thinking about how these things that were coming up, what they could teach me in that moment. What were other people reflecting back to me about how I feel about myself. So if you're struggling with negative thoughts and you feel ashamed or guilty, I want you to take some time and I want you to just observe. Be an observer. That is all. Of the thoughts that come up in your head, of the feelings that come up for you, and just observe. No judgment, no punishing yourself. Just observe it. And I want you to see what thoughts keep coming up for you, what feelings keep coming up for you. And I want you to write them down. And when you write them down, I want you to really start processing them. And I want you to try to remember where they stemmed from, what in your life caused you to feel that way or to think that way. And then when you do that, I want you to start feeling it. I want you to start feeling all that pain. And I want you to purge it. Just purge it all. Get it out of your body, get it out of your system, and let it go and forgive yourself for feeling that way and forgive yourself for punishing yourself for all of these years for feeling and thinking a certain way. I love you all very much. Thank you for watching. And please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Peace.